All right, and we're back after the break. It's been about 4 hours of relatively uninterrupted travel. It did take a little bit longer because you had to skirt around um, the edge of the forest towards the direction of the giant fireball that somebody, Amelia, made. But you entered the forest, kind of looped around, uh, made your own path for about a mile, and then went back through the path that was going through the forest. Seems like no one's around you. You didn't ever notice really anything. So you're about an hour out from what you think is probably the town. Um, kind of quiet. You hear bird calls and just general sounds of the forest. Dandelion kind of looks over to you and says, "Where are we going? It's getting kind of dark."
Let me help with that. And she gives a little, like, and then what's it called?
Halter?
Yes, it starts glowing because she has cast a light spell.
Well, there we go. Oh, wow! Your nose is glowing.
Is it
cool.
red?
Better?
Yeah. And he just kind of, I mean, he's got an intelligence of 2, you know. He's a horse.
Dandelion is a horse.
Yes. And you basically have in the cart, everyone else is in the cart. Gur is still, or Bortolo is still driving it, and then you have the unconscious form of Ren lying in the back of the cart, and you also have the conscious but still rather weak guard, and then Haruna is still snoring loudly. Seems the movement of the cart in no way has interrupted her sleep because she's just, the shock went through her body, the adrenaline, she's just so tired that she's just...
Yes, I shall improve their morale by reading from my Book of the Way.
All right.
Oh, you can sing!
Which of the 81 chapters? I bought this specifically for the campaign.
I will start with chapters
Nice.
1.
All right.
Seriously.
Oh, wait, we had one more guard.
Let me find it. No. You had Ren, who is your party member.
Oh, no,
that's
I'm
not here
saying
today.
Amelia said, oh, yeah, we had one more guard.
I'll just read a couple lines because I just thought it would be funny. The way that cannot be told is the eternal way. The name that cannot be named is the eternal name. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, you start reciting out of the Book of the Way. And at the end of your recitation, what happens? Emil?
Well, I hope that you all feel enlightened by my reading for a start. But more importantly, and perhaps more, appealing to the mechanically minded player, is that you get a +4 circumstance bonus to one saving throw or ability check for the next 24 hours.
Ooh.
Unless you're intentionally not listening to what he was reading. Even
In which
if you're
case
just
you will-
passively, even if you're just passively hearing it, you still get this bonus. Unless you're actively trying not to pay, like, I don't want to hear this, you get the bonus.
Yes, and I will not tell you that there is any benefit to listening to me besides enlightenment.
But mechanically speaking, you get a +4 to a single roll for the next 24 hours. Because you have been enlightened.
Amelia's very fascinated by all this, yeah. So she's going to listen to everything.
Samriel is remaining relatively quiet and still just taking notes, basically. You'll see her look up at each of you once in a while and scribble something down and just keeps writing in the notebook. But doesn't actively make any conversation with any of you. She'll respond if you talk to her, but she's not actively seeking it out. Although about 30 minutes go by, recitation of the Book of the Way, things like that, and then one of the guard with the wound in his shoulders kind of he looks a little more lucid, and he goes, "Where are we? What happened? Who attacked us? Where's the captain? What's going on?"
Oh, yeah, there was one more person, says Amelia.
I mean,
Uh.
come on, you remembered about him when he was literally dragged onto the wagon.
Oh, okay,
You
fine.
didn't forget about him being right next to you.
Okay. We were attacked. It was horrible. The card turned evil, or magic or something like that. The guard captain's dead because he spotted an arrow. The card exploded, and it was. Should I be saying
Okay.
it?
He tries to raise his right arm to like hold his hand up like this, but he goes, okay. And then he kind of points his finger at or at Bartolo, who is driving the cart. It's like, you're driving the cart. Can you explain what's going on? This person's making no sense.
There was a fight, and the guard captain died, and there's an explosion, and now we're here. And we're not in the same place we were before.
Where are we?
On the way to the port town. What was it called?
Gotan.
Out of character is Gotan.
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 We're on the way to Gotan.
Gotan's hundreds of miles from here. Where are we going to Gotan? We're just days from our destination.
Something happened, and we got moved. Don't know how.
How long have I been out? And he clutches his shoulder again. And
A few hours.
He's like, it's still bleeding. He's like, how long have I been out?
Only a few hours. But we were
Days!
attacked.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay.
But you're not helping.
How? Well, how far are we from Gotan? Where are we? What?
We should be there right around nightfall.
And the guy, like, his face is.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Did you know that she could that Marion could turn into a horse?
Like I said, please stop talking. And he gestures towards Amelia again, and he keeps looking at Bortolo. It's like, I don't. I mean, you're obviously one of the prisoners. I guess you're not a prisoner anymore since you're driving the cart. But how many are left among us? I don't see. I only see. And he
Everyone
kinda
in the
jerks his
cart.
head towards Harina.
Just start counting the people in the cart.
Don't forget the horse on the right.
Perhaps we should count the other horse as well. No, I jest. It's just us now. Everything else was killed in an ambush. I only wonder why they did not pursue us as well.
Who ambushed us?
That is the question of the day. For we, the ambushees, have no clue. There is no light to be shown on this, my friend.
He looks a little confused. So nobody sold them.
Nobody saw them. Nobody heard them. But we haven't been attacked since then. So
I hold up the javelin and say absolutely nothing.
All right, this one last question, because I think I'm just gonna go to sleep next. This is all very strange, but who the hell is this woman? And he points at Amelia. It's like, I don't remember her being so batshit crazy a week ago when we picked her up.
what? Freedom does weird things.
All right, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I don't really trust any of you, but the fact that you've apparently saved my life means I won't try to stop you from, doing whatever you want. You're not my prisoners anymore. I just got paid to do this, and it doesn't look like I'll be getting paid anymore. So he kind of rolls over and sleeps, like lays his head on a pack and just like He's not snoring, but his breath does deepen a little bit after a few minutes.
I'm okay.
Are you okay?
No, I just hit something.
All right,
I
and
was
then
gonna- Sorry.
another 10 or so minutes pass, and then Gur, you're pretty sure you can see lights off of the distance, which is probably torch lights. If they're lucky, maybe a couple thin my lanterns. But it's off in the distance. But you think, hey, maybe another 15 minutes ride, we'll probably get pretty close.
Hey, everyone, got lights ahead. Coming up on the town.
And another 15 minutes go by, and you pull up to the edge of. It looks like there's this like deep, muddy moat surrounding these kind of rickety palisade walls. Like they looked like at one point they were probably strong fortifications, but they haven't really been. Doesn't look like there's been a battle, but they haven't really been repaired over a couple years at least. The weather has done some damage to it, but there's this giant like 10-foot deep and like 15-foot wide moat just dug around the entire palisade wall, and there doesn't look to be a gate into town, but you can see that there's this drawbridge that is currently pulled up that crosses the moat. And then there's you don't see a guard standing near the drawbridge, but you do see kind of this raised wooden tower platform with a roof that's probably a guard tower. But there's no way to just drive into town currently because the drawbridge has been raised. You're about 100 feet from the moat right now.
Well, as much as I would like to fly us in, I think it would be preferable to tell them to lower the drawbridge for us. I examined the state of disrepair and neglect, and I say in a very wise voice, even rot will fell the largest tree. Excuse me!
Yeah, who goes there? We weren't expecting anybody tonight. Who are you? Are you on the? You're not on the. You're not on the schedule. We don't have a caravan coming for. You're not even a caravan. You're just a wagon. We don't have anyone coming for a week. What are you doing here?
Former caravan, if you may. We were subjects of an ambush, and we do need a place to rest.
An ambush by who?
I've been thinking of that myself, but I don't know.
Bandits, probably.
So
Evil bandits.
So you're saying, and bear with me here. You still haven't seen anyone, by the way. This is kind of a disembodied voice from the tower. Obviously male, but that's about all you can pick up. So what you're telling me is, now think of it from my perspective. I'm guarding the town. You're a mysterious wagon that has been ambushed by people you don't know, and you're not on the schedule. And you want in. What would you do?
Could we just give you our injured?
You what?
Like-
You have injured?
Yeah.
Prove it.
We'll take her and guard out.
You kind of pick him up, and he's like, "Oh."
Oh, don't whine, or I'll just fly you in.
He kind of gives you a weird look. It's like these guys are very cavalier about talking about things that.
Yeah, at this, Myron will like kind of whinny very loudly at you.
At Trayrin.
At Immel. Yeah, or at
at Trayrin.
I call him Trayron all the time. It took me a long time to break that habit. Anyway.
At Nikiva, the horse is very obvious. Not Dandelion is very obviously whinnying at you when you say you will fly him.
What? I could. Come on. Okay, so just
More to
nay
the
once
back.
for yes, Nay twice for no.
She neighs twice.
All right. I'll let you handle it then.
What do you mean you'll let her handle it? She's a horse.
But the guy basically sees this interaction. He's like, and now you're talking to a horse.
Look,
You got the injured guy though. All right. Give me a minute. I'll lower the drawbridge, but I'm gathering my people first. If you try anything, we'll drop it out from under you. And then the voice goes silent, and about 5 minutes later, of you just kind of standing there, you hear a creaking sound, and drawbridge slowly goes and lays across the moat. And then on the other side of the drawbridge, there's this tall, stern woman. You're pretty sure it's a woman due to her build, but she's wearing a helmet and what looks to be half plate that's been painted dark brown. Doesn't look amazing, but it kind of blends into the background, and it's kind of hard to see at night. So you can kind of tell it's kind of a rudimentary camouflage, but it's been painted this dark brown, and she's standing there as this half plate holding a torch in one hand and a long bastard sword in the other. And then there's 4 or 5 other similarly armed with the same painted armor with a symbol of a red tree emblazoned on tabards they're wearing, and they're standing there on the other side of the drawbridge. And the woman speaks out and says, all right, come across, but we're watching.
I double check to make sure everyone has their weapons sheathed.
Start driving across and wave.
So just to be sure, I don't bomb anything, right?
Right, and don't even say the word.
I'm loving this chaotic this chaotic energy. It's basically like having Grimly
Chaotic-
back, but not quite as
You
crazy.
sure? Question mark. Question mark.
It's like having Grimly with an intelligence higher than 2.
I mean, I was like, how do I do ADHD? And stuff like that.
I mean, you're doing well so far. You haven't blown up an outhouse. But they
Yes.
I won't let you forget about that one. But they let you across, and then but they don't let you in town. They kind of circle the wagon. Everyone's got their swords, and they're almost always one of them's holding an axe, but most of them are holding bastard swords, and they're unsheathed, but they're not like at the ready. They're just kind of in their hands, ready if they need to wield them. But and then the woman walks up and says, "My name is Caitlin Thorne. I'm in charge of Goten. What's your business here?"
We're traveling. We were on the way to something.
You're on the way for something.
To
Can you be a bit more? She kind of glances at her at the bastard sword. Can you be a bit more specific, please?
have a take.
This is Goten, right?
What was the town we were heading to?
You were headed. You don't actually know the name. It's just kind of
Or
this
the
small little
country,
hamlet. You were
city?
headed towards Neth, though, which
Nah,
is the
that's it.
city-state area.
We were headed in the direction of Neth, and we needed a place to stop by.
I mean,
We were
this is
ambushed, and-
basically medieval times. You were headed towards the village over
Mhm.
there.
Yeah,
They didn't
yep.
really have village names.
and we were attacked on the road and found ourselves
By
nearby.
who?
We're not entirely sure. We're still trying to figure that one out.
What were they wearing? We have a couple groups here that might have waylaid travelers.
See that's the million gold question, right? It's
She kind of
Didn't-
raises
we
an
didn't see
eyebrow.
anyone.
She's like,
We didn't see anyone, but there was but someone blew up our wagon, the other wagon and the other wagon, just to be sure, like just to, yeah. So we had two wagons. One of them got blown up. Then an arrow killed a few of our people, and a javelin got this guy. I pointed.
Blown up. So they had a wizard with him.
Yeah.
So the
Some
Well, there
other
was magic involved.
conventional explosive, but
she sheathes the sword and then kind of puts a worried hand under her chin. Says, "That means one of the major factors
What?
are in one of the provinces." She's talking
Sorry,
to. She's not talking quietly, but she's talking to herself, not to you guys. One of the.
No,
major
you went robotic at
factions.
the part.
Oh, did I? Okay. Am I good now?
yeah, you're good. You're good
Okay.
now.
She puts her hand under her chin. She goes, that means one of the other factions or maybe one of the provinces are in play. And she looks at y'all and says, where are you from?
I look around.
Simple
I
question.
open my mouth.
She puts her hand
Where-
back on the sword. She doesn't draw
As-
it again, but she puts,
As a
where
collective,
are you from?
I guess we're technically from the
Empire.
Empire.
I think that's what they called it. But I'm actually from across the sea. You see, I was taking a boat, and then there was this storm, and then I was in a forest, and there were
I
these
don't
nice
think we need the
couple-
whole story right now.
Did
Yes, get to the end.
her voice kind of goes even less inflected, and she goes, "Did he send you?"
Sea.
Everyone but Amelia, because I think everyone but Amelia is a local, would know that by he, she's talking about the Emperor.
Oh,
there was
you
a-
mean the
Amelia
Emperor.
would not know who he means.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm like. Huh?
You mean the Emperor? Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right. I've got nothing against him, but Gotan is ours and will remain that way. Is that understood?
Yep.
All right. You may have lodgings here for one night, and then you need to be on your way.
That's fair enough.
That's all we could really ask for. Well, I mean, we could ask for a lot more, but we don't want to be too
Just-
much of a burden.
Be quiet, please. And then she gestures to one of her men and says, Sanders, take care of them. I'm going back to bed. And she extinguishes the torch in the muddy ground and just kind of walks off into the darkness towards some part of the town you can't quite see in the murkiness. I mean, it's about midnight right now, so it's pretty dark.
I'm
And then
political,
this guy,
man.
this kind of, he's not wearing a helmet, but he is wearing the same painted brown plate mail with the red oak tree emblazoned on it. And he's holding a Finn My Lantern, and he walks up and says, "My name is Sanders. I'm the current duty watch member for the Lawful Glove. We are the current establishing power here in Gotan. You will do as we say, and you will leave here with all of your fingers intact. If you violate any of the local laws or creeds, you will leave here with a few less fingers. Is that understood?"
What about toes?
Yes, it's
Don't ask
understood.
that.
Do you
question.
want to lose a toe?
It's slightly preferable over a finger, but we'd rather lose neither.
All right,
kind
I'd
of.
rather
I'd
not have to
forget.
cut any off, but we are very strict here. No thieving, no
Mm-hmm.
fighting,
Mm-hmm.
nothing to disturb the peace. Is it
Mm.
understood?
Mm-hmm.
Understood, right, Amelia?
Yes. Why is everyone looking at me? I don't. What?
All right.
None of those.
If you'll follow me,
You
Never
make
mind.
one, but you. Sorry, yeah.
if you follow me, please, and you can start tell he's getting a little annoyed. This way to the Thief and Son. That is just the name. Remember, no thieving. this way and then Savama Dyke will take care of you. She is the proprietor. If you give her any trouble, your stay will not be on Miss Thorne's account as it is currently, and you will lose a finger. Is that understood?
Okay.
All right, this way, please. And he leads you to. It's about another 5 minutes, probably, through a couple winding streets. I mean, Gotan isn't a super populated town. Like I said, it's about 3,000, but all 3,000 live in the town, so it's a large medieval town, basically. But somewhat cramped-looking cobblestone tavern. More kind of looks like a big 2-story house than a tavern, really. But he leads you to the front door and says, "Here you are. Remember what I told you about thieving and fingers?" And then he kind of just walks off back towards the gate, leaving y'all standing outside.
Oh, yes, and you. Hitch up the horse. Also,
Wait, do we
Are
get
there
medical
Do you
Um,
also which horse?
yeah.
Well, are there stables?
There looks to be hitching posts with feed bags, but no formal stables.
Well then Myron will wait until nobody is around, and she will
You
turn
might
back.
want to go back around back or
There's
something.
nobody around immediately because it's now getting closer to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You can hear some sound inside the tavern, but there's no one immediately around you. So if you wanted to quickly shape back, you could.
Yeah, she shifts back.
Okay.
She does a bit of a stretch, like, I haven't had to do something like that since, ever.
Dandelion kind of looks at you and goes.
I give Dandelion a pat on the nose,
He likes that.
and I say, "Shh, I'll bring you some apples later."
He gives it like a.
He's a happy horse.
He is a happy horse.
Did we get medical attention for the 2 injured? Or are they still with us?
Well, I guess we
They-
go
they
inside
did
and find
not-
out.
They did not offer medical attention to your
Oh.
wounded.
No, I can take care of that.
Okay.
But I suggest we get settled, and I kind of lower my voice. It's okay. My first time in a town like this was pretty rough too. Ended up on the wrong end of a few spears. Best not do magic out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Seems
So that
like a
counts as
solid
disturbing the
plan.
peace. Gotcha.
And I guess we'll head on inside.
You head in, and surprisingly different than the outside of the tavern. It's bright, shiny, surprising, looks welcoming. Welcoming. It is rather cramped. There's probably a good half dozen people in there right now, taking up the bar, and then another half dozen at tables. Tables can fit 2 or 3 people at most, maybe, and then there's 2 booths that can probably hold 6 people. Neither are occupied, but those are the only other open seatings. And then there's this kind of thick-set woman who's currently speaking to one of the guests behind the bar. Her name, if y'all didn't catch it earlier, was given to y'all was Savamia Dyke, and she looks up to you. She has kind of brownish hair, starting to get flecked with silver, so probably in her late 40s, early 50s. And she looks up and says, "I'll be right with you." And then she talks to the person in a minute or two and kind of stretches her arms, and then comes out from behind the bar, walks up to y'all and says, "How can I help?" And her voice is really deep for a woman. It's actually kind of surprising.
Room, rest, maybe fresh
Room
food.
for how
I'll have your
many?
finest raw fish.
Raw
Or whatever you
fish?
call it here. Is that what? Oh, is it?
Do you want sushi?
Ah,
Does
Does
this look like a sushi restaurant? Does
Oh,
this
is that
look
not
like
what-
a sushi restaurant to you? Come on, man.
You mean you can't
This is a
get...
tavern. I can
Oh,
get you
what
raw.
did I get here?
I can get you cooked pike. It's today's catch.
That! Yes.
I have 3 rooms available. Each one has 2 beds. That's all I can offer. I'm almost at capacity. Can't give you each your own rooms.
Ah, how fortuitous. There are 6 of us.
Well, there you go.
Indeed.
Beds are there in
There's
the room.
actually 8 of y'all.
There are 8. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Injured.
If you
Also-
include Ren and Haruna, yeah, there's 8 because there's the injured guard as well.
What do you recommend we do with the injured people?
Put them in the same room as
They're your companions, aren't they? What do you want to do with them? I'm no doctor.
Might there be an extra cot we could bring into some of the rooms?
You throw an extra silver piece, I'll give you a cot. Each room's 10 silver. Gets you dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow. You're out by noon. You'll get lunch too. If you're not out by noon, you don't get lunch.
Aw,
Unless you pay 10 more silver.
I don't know. I want lunch.
So, wait, is it 10 silver total, he said?
Per room.
Oh, per room. Okay, so it's.
But that
30
pays for 2 meals, 3 if you're out by the allotted time.
Okay, so 31 silver. I mean, have we been in charge of the money? I feel like that would be Sam Rail's job.
The god captain, maybe.
So Haruna will speak up and be like, I'll pay. I've got it for tonight. She reaches into a big bag, which you now guess holds the money, and she pulls out 31 silver pieces and says, if I give you a couple extra, can you make sure the breakfast is hot? And dinner tonight as well. I know it's a bit late. And the woman says, we can do that. 2 extra silver and you'll get fresh fish. All right. All right. I think I can do that deal. Throws out 2 more silver and looks around and says, all right, let's head up. I want to get back to sleep, personally. Don't know about y'all.
Away!
Actually, Miss Haruna, if you wouldn't mind, I should probably continue tending to you, and I'm so sorry. I don't think we ever caught your name. And I look at the soldier.
Stephen Zhao.
his
Stephen
name?
Zhao.
Steven? Okay.
Stephen Zhao.
Ah, yes. Well, we should probably get you two set up in one of the rooms.
Yeah, all right. And he kind of... He can stand on his own now, but it's definitely still kind of wobbly and stuff like that. So he kind of like starts wobbling, staggering up towards the stairs.
Sure, I'll go help him out. And,
Okay. What kind of bed arrangements do y'all want? There's actually 7 of y'all, so I was wrong. So one of y'all is going to have to triple up with the wounded man. Other than that, you'll make your own sleeping arrangements.
I don't mind sleeping on the floor.
Well, no, everyone has a bed.
I'll room with.
It's just
Even
2 beds per
better.
room. 2 beds
I'll
per
room
room.
with Nikiba.
I'm
Girl.
small.
All right, works with me.
And
But
then,
I stopped by the soldier and Haruna's room first.
and then that means Amelia and Bartolo, and then we'll just have Ren sleep with Sam Rael for tonight.
Ren gets the cot. Ren is not here, so.
All right, we'll do it that way then. Ren gets the cot because he is still currently passed out. It actually on a closer look, when you're not in a crisis, it does look like Ren actually is kind of sick with something. He definitely has a fever going.
All right. I'll take a heal check on him to see what it is. I hope it's simply not a case of just not hearitis.
Out of character, actually, it's not. What's your heal check, though?
Give me a sec. $15.
Right. He actually has a case of the rattle shakes, which lowers his dex by 4, and every 24 hours he needs to make a fortitude saving throw, or he takes 1 temporary dex damage. Except if he gets to 0
well,
dex, it kills him.
Do I know of a way to help cure this?
You can basically, it just needs to ride its way out. But you can, if you tend him once a day, basically just treat him with like minor herbal medicines and stuff like that. You can give him a +5 on the check, and if he passes 3 checks in a row, he basically, it burns itself out of him. It's also
Yes.
it's only contagious from blood to blood contact.
Okay.
Well, I shall try my best to find the proper herbs in those packs we brought, and I
you have
shall
an entire
read from
supply
him to
wagon.
him.
There's at least 2 med kits in there for like a group y'all size, so you can find.
Then I shall brew up a special herbal tea I have learned from my order, and also give him a proper reading from the Book of the Way.
All right. Well, he got your reading earlier. He was unconscious, but technically that means he wasn't actively not trying to listen, so he does get the benefit still. You can give him a
Subconscious
second reading, it just
implantation.
won't have any mechanical benefit.
I feel like trying to enlighten him while he's a captive
All right, then
audience
he will
member.
be in your.
And I'm
his
sure
hat
he
be in
will-
your room as well, and he will have at least as long as you're willing to talk to him about the way. He can't resist.
Oh no.
All right, and this tea will take time to brew. Also, sorry about this, Maureen, but we are taking somebody else in while I tend to him.
All right. And then I think that's a pretty good stopping point for the session tonight,
Oh,
unless there's anyone that someone wants to do right now before y'all go to sleep tonight.
can I heal them with Goodberry real quick so I don't
You can heal them with
forget?
Goodberry.
Okay.
And they will. What it was the guard that you rolled a 31 on the heal check originally, right?
Yeah.
All right, he will heal double the normal tonight. Haruna will just heal normal amount.
Okay.
But
well, yeah.
Haruna's actually back to full health, after, assuming nothing happens in the middle of the night. But her arm will still take quite a while to heal because it was broken. The soldier looks like he's probably not going to be back on his feet for a week or so. He's been pretty gravely wounded. But you do manage to patch him up a bit. He's in no danger unless he actively did heavy lifting or got into a fight again. The wound isn't going to spontaneously reopen, so you think he's good to go.
Okay. I just give them both a little subtle reminder to I would still play up your injury. People around towns like this get a little squirrely when people start feeling better and they can't figure out why.
Yeah, of course. It's not often I've traveled with a wizard, druid person, not a witch. Of course not. No. That's what Steven says.
Okay.
He kind of starts saying witch, and then he's like, wizard.
Are witches bad here?
So out of character, because Amelia would not know this, everyone else would. Witch is like the catch-all term in the region, basically for they use magic. They're unlicensed magic user. Basically, if you're a magic user, you're almost always either licensed under the control of whatever local government there is, which means everybody knows who you are, or you're a witch. And obviously, witches are bad. So if you just randomly start casting magic in town, well, you're a witch.
Myron would be licensed by the Emperor previously.
You would be licensed by your druid conclave, who would have permission from the Emperor.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. All of you, technically, since you have your writ, technically would count as licensed, if you can cast magic, would cast as licensed magic casters. However, the writ is more of a, you need to do this, otherwise bad things happen, and less a, you're good to go. It's less a free pass to everything and more of an explanation of why you're doing it. But
Right.
we'll end the night there with everyone bedding down. And that's session 1 for the campaign. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Hope it went okay. Kind of a weird setup, I know, because I'm on an iPad. Couldn't do Roll20 or anything like that, but hope it went okay.
Wait, right.